Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It's Sunday morning. It's February 11th, and it's 7:10 in the a.m. I am reading Daily Reflections, and I'm going to tell you why I entitled my recording, what I entitled it. Pretending to be tall is what I entitled it. And you've heard me talk about standing on other people and pretending to be tall. And that's what we do in our human nature. That's what we do in our carnal minds. That's what we do while walking in the flesh. Now, Daily Reflections is entitled The Limits of Self-Reliance. And the opening statement says, we asked ourselves why we had them, and them meaning fears. Wasn't it because of self-reliance failed us? Anytime you put self in front of or above God and the knowledge of God, you're going to fail. That's it, and that's all. Ego tells self that we're bigger than what we are. We have more power than what we do. And, in this day and age, self-serving, self-seeking is everything. We put the knowledge of ourselves and our abilities above the knowledge of God. We talk about what we manifest. We don't manifest anything without God. Amen. Ego just messes us up a lot of the time. And you've heard me talk about self-help books. It's a massive industry. And the only self that usually gets helped is the person that wrote the book. Their pockets get lined. Many of us don't finish the book, or many of us operate on our limited understanding of what this particular individual is trying to convey. And they're conveying their message and their blessing, and they're selling it to you. How does that work? Let me just get into the message, the recovery message. Again, the opening statement is, we asked ourselves why we had them fears. Wasn't it because of self-reliance has failed us? The writer says, all of my character defects separate me from God's will. See? And here we go. Operating in ego and not knowing the will of God. Not taking our character defects into acknowledgement. We're going to take all of what we think and imagine about ourselves and then try to go above and beyond. Okay, again. All of my character defects separate me from God's will. When I ignore my association with Him, I face the world and my alcoholism or my addiction or my shortcomings, my character defects alone. And I must depend on my self-reliance. I have never found security and happiness through self-will. And the only result is a life of fear and discontent. You've heard me talk about autonomy and how I dislike that word. Because when we do my choice, those two magic words, my choice. My choice is usually self-seeking and self-serving. And outside of the will of God, the only thing it serves is flesh and lust majority of the time. It says God provides the path back to Him and to His gift of serenity and comfort. See, we don't seem to grasp the concept that the enemy gives blessings to for work well done. Yes, you heard me say that. But what we do is very short-sighted because we fail to recognize the enemy's blessings will soon become a burden or have already shown signs of being a burden, but we tell ourselves that's our stuff to work through. Why is it that you're willing to work through something that is not serving you? If you have to question it, it's not of God. God brings peace. Amen. God is not a God of confusion. Okay, let me get back to this statement. God provides the path back to Him and to His gift of serenity and comfort. First, however, we must be willing to acknowledge our fears and to understand their source of power over us. Got it? It says, the writer says, I frequently ask God to help me understand how I separate myself from Him. How do we call ourselves hiding from God? How do we lock God out of our thoughts? How do we ignore the will of God? Now, to fully understand that and to tear down those walls is opening the door to understanding the will, way, and works of God. Are you prepared to do that? Or are you willing to live in the discontent, the discomfort, and the delusion of self-will, of self-sufficiency? Think about where you are. Amen.